Following the much publicized arrest of a judge in Wisconsin last week, Fox News reporter Peter Doocy decided to ask Karoline Leavitt this week, under that shadow of, hey, you guys just arrested a judge. Would you, how far up is this going to go, Doocy wanted to know. Are you thinking about maybe arresting Supreme Court justices? To which White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt said, yeah. She said, yeah, like it was the most normal thing in the world for an administration to do to arrest Supreme Court justices. Here's how the exchange took place. Doocy asked, as you guys look at other judges, would you ever arrest somebody higher up on the judicial food chain, like a federal judge or even a Supreme Court justice? Without missing a beat, Leavitt said, anyone who's breaking the law or obstructing federal law enforcement officials is putting themselves at risk of being prosecuted. Absolutely. Again, as if that's the most normal thought in the world. They're yeah, we'll arrest judges. Doesn't matter, Supreme Court, local judge, district judge, traffic judge, fuck it, we don't care. But then, of course, she was like, this is just hypothetical. She demurred a little bit and then was like, I'd refer you to the DOJ for individuals they are looking at. Uh-oh. I'd refer you to the DOJ for individuals they are looking at. That would suggest that the United States Department of Justice is actively in the process of determining whether other judges need to be arrested. That's what that statement means. I mean, she's not smart. She may have, not meant to say that, but she said it. I talked about this story on Monday over at Ring of Fire, and I said, this is the beginning. These will not be the only judges arrested because we haven't just had one. We've actually had two, folks. There will be more, and there will be higher up judges doing it. I literally said, this is what would happen. And then Karoline Leavitt comes out and confirms everything that I had said was going to happen. And that's what's so terrifying about this. The slippery slope here is so predictable. The fall into authoritarianism, fascism is so predictable that we can all call it, and then they just confirm it. And then, of course, she talked about the judge that was arrested on Friday saying, quote, let's be clear what this judge did. She obstructed federal law enforcement who were looking for an illegal alien in her courthouse. She showed that illegal alien the door to evade law enforcement officials. That is a clear-cut case of obstruction. Saying, hey, you guys, you go out this door, not that door. That's obstruction. They were still in the building. The federal agents were outside the building, waiting for this individual who eventually was going to have to leave the building. Neither of those doors were the exit of the courthouse, by the way. They were just the exits of the courtroom. So the judge also, by the way, spoke with the federal agents before directing the man through a different door and said, the warrant you have is not the right type of warrant. If you have any issues with this, please contact the superior judge of this court. But you cannot do this because you have the wrong warrant. The judge was not obstructing. She was actually protecting the rule of law. And the federal agents didn't give a damn. And eventually they arrested the man when he went outside. And yes, he tried to flee, but they caught him. And then they arrested the judge. But here's the thing. Obstruction in the eyes of this administration can obviously mean whatever the administration wants it to mean. So if you have a judge that says, hey, hold up, you can't deport people using the Alien Enemies Act, they could say, well, then now you're obstructing us from being able to arrest people that are here illegally. So that's obstruction. We have to arrest you. Now, I didn't throw out that hypothetical when I was talking about things on Monday. I am throwing out that hypothetical now because I do believe that's where we're headed. Because Karoline Leavitt already confirmed all of the other fears I had that, yeah, we're arresting more judges. Yes, the DOJ is looking at it. And sure, we'll even go after the Supreme Court if we need to. So now that we know they have extended it to the worst of our fears, I think they're going to expand what the meaning of obstruction of justice is to include any judge that rules against Donald Trump. That's where we're headed. Pretty much been right on all of the most horrible predictions so far. So hopefully I'm wrong on this one, but there is not a single part of me that doubts that that's what's going to happen. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.